And welcome back. Now this week we're going to be looking at this very, very small board here, which is a Bluetooth audio transmitter. So it requires something like line input, left, right, ground from a radio or stereo system or whatever, and it will transmit it to a Bluetooth speaker or of course a set of headphones, something like that that has Bluetooth capability. Now it is very, very small. So let me zoom back out again just to get an appreciation of its tiny size. I want to do a shout out for JLC PCB. No, stop, don't go away. Look what they're doing. $2 for aluminium circuit boards. This is absolutely incredible. If you've ever wanted to try an aluminium PCB, now's the time to do it. Now remember, aluminium PCBs are single-sided normally with the aluminium on the bottom. Then you have a dielectric layer that transfers the heat up to the top copper layer. Now aluminium is very, very strong and it will suck the heat away out of your components without the need for extra heat sinks, for example. Go and have a look at their website and check them out. And there's more. JLC PCB now allow you to create your own parts library, because there's nothing more disappointing than creating a PCB and then finding you can't get the parts or there's a big long delay. Now you can create your own custom parts library to ensure you get the components you need, and of course the associated footprints, so you know they're going to fit on the PCB itself. To get to this page that describes everything you ever need to know about creating your parts library, simply go to their homepage and then click on the link at the top. Very, very simple and a really, really useful feature. Go and check out JLC PCB now. So here it is, a little bit closer to the screen. I'm holding it with a pair of tweezers because my fat chubby fingers would just cover the thing entirely. Now there is one issue with this that when I bought it I thought, oh dear, that's going to be a bit of a problem. As you can see from the outside edge, these holes here, and indeed they're castellated as well if you want them to be, are very, very small. In fact, it's 1.2 millimeter separation. To give you an idea of what that means, most breadboards and pin headers are 2.54 millimeters wide, so basically double the width of this. Now, whilst you can still solder on here just about, you know, it's a bit of a challenge. What we really need is some kind of breakout board. So what I did initially was to take one of these, which is I think it was some kind of SOT 20 or something like that. Oh, there it is, SOT 20p, look, and just used half of it. And basically soldered that on there. And then I could plug this into my breadboard to try it out. Because I wanted this for my ESP32 Web Radio. Because I want to transmit to a Bluetooth speaker, basically. But what we really need is some kind of proper breakout board, don't we? Something along the lines of this. Now this module obviously solders directly on there with the castellated holes perfectly, and there's a couple of components on there. If you want to put them on, you don't have to, but it allows for that. And yeah, it well, makes life a whole lot easier, because those connections on the left here are of course standard breadboard sized pin header holes, 2.54 millimeters. So I think, yeah, we're on a winner here. Let's try it out and see what happens. Okay, a couple of hours later, and I've soldered this little board onto the breakout board. It wasn't that difficult to do. I mean, even though it was 1.27 millimeter connections here, it's no more difficult than, say, doing a flat quad chip or something like that. Yeah, even the ESP32, the bare naked one, that's the same pitch, I believe. Anyway, I've put a button on here that allows me to connect it to things, you know, basically search for a speaker or something that you want to connect to. I've put a little capacitor across here. Oh yes, that's one thing I was going to talk to you about. The actual board, let's get a bare board here. Look, here's two, look, two for the price of one. If you've noticed on this particular board, apart from that switch, there's a specific switch that I got from LCSC, but you can easily solder cables onto those pads or directly onto here. All these connections here, look, can either take through hole or surface mount devices. So on the one that we've soldered here, you'll see that I've used surface mount stuff simply because it is easier and quicker, really. Okay, so what I've done then is powered it up. I've got three cables here that aren't connected to anywhere yet. That's the audio in and ground, left, right and ground. TX and RX, I've got those connected up to this FTDI board at the back there that's connected up to my computer, which we'll have a look at in a second. And then we've got power up here. Right, so what this is doing now, because I've powered it up for the very first time, it's flashing saying I'm trying to connect to something. Cool. Let's just bring up the debug window. Actually, this is from the IDE 1.0, the Arduino IDE 1.0, because I found that worked best, would you believe, for this thing. Right, let me bring that up and I'll be right back. Okay, that's the debug window sitting there from the Arduino IDE 1.0, the classic one. Now, this is actually doing something different to yesterday because it seems to have connected now into my smartphone charger, which is up there. And I've noticed that my smartphone charger says not connected to my phone, that is, which is the only thing it should be able to be connected to. So it's saying, what it seems to be saying here is I've found something called Smart Charge 2, which is what I've called that. And the total therefore is one device that I've found, but it hasn't connected to it. Now this thing here is in fact a little mini USB speaker, and I'm hoping to connect it to that. So I'm going to shrink down this window here so it's a little bit smaller. We can see what happens when I do finally switch this on. I might have to turn off my smart charge thingy up there because that might interfere with things actually. That didn't happen yesterday. See what I mean about live videos? Everything changes, doesn't it, when you try and do it to camera. Oh God. Right, let's carry on. Right, I've switched off my smartphone charger, so now you can see on there it says all devices 0. Yeah, that's what I'd expect. That's what I was saying yesterday. Now we can interrogate this device to a certain extent and tell it to connect to various things by putting in some commands here at the top. So if I just prove the point, if I say AT plus, which is the standard sort of, are you there? I'm hoping to get an OK plus back. Hooray! OK plus it did say. So that means we're talking to it. And what you can say, that's all in documentation, down there in the video link or up in my GitHub. There are 3 websites that have looked into this. And you can say connect to this particular MAC address or disconnect, clear out the memory of things you've previously connected to, all those sort of things. But what we're really interested, what I'm interested, let's be clear. I want this now to connect to this little mini speaker, right? And then we'll put some tones down those wires you can see there. So this speaker has never connected to this before. I'm just looking for the on-off switch. So there's the on-off switch. And when I switch that, the little Bluetooth light should come on at the front. And let's see what the thing says. Oh, bit of a noise. There it goes, right. So it says I'm connectable now. Basically the mini speaker's in promiscuous mode, as it says anybody can connect to me. Oh no, still all devices 0. I might have to press the button there, although because oh no, it's found a new device. Look, there it is. I didn't have to do anything because I was just going to go on to say the first time you switch this on and it's never found anything, it should connect to the first thing that it can find. So it says Soundcore Mini. Well, I guess that's what this is called, and it's got a MAC address and everything. So I'm assuming no, it's not connected though because it's still flashing quickly, and it shouldn't do that. Now we could say via the AT commands, go and connect to that MAC address. So programmatically, you could extract this information, couldn't you, and then have a list or whatever. Although MAC addresses are not exactly descriptive. I'm going to press this connect button, which I've never done before. So hopefully it should connect to this, and the flashing rate should go down. So press off. Right, it's deleted the VM link, as it's called. That's the storage. Right, so it's found the new device. Is it going to connect to it though? Perhaps I have to do something on here. I don't think I should have to do anything on here really, unless I have to put this into sort of... Oh, connected. I didn't do anything. I promise I didn't touch anything. It says I'm connected. Okay, you can see that up here. It says connected. All devices 1. There's only one, obviously, and that's what it is it's connected to. Great. Right, what we now need to do then is put some audio signals down here, down these wires. Now, this is one of my new multimeters, right? I think this cost about $20. It was pretty low. Aneng AN8008. We'll talk about it in some future video. But basically, see this last selection here, that means it can generate some square waves. There's only about 4 or 5 frequencies, but it's pretty useful. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to connect up this meter to the left and right on here, and we should hear something. I'll edit the video to stop all my faffing about, okay? Okay, it's connected up and it's doing a 50 hertz. As you can see, 50 hertz. If I press this, it will go up. Right, I don't know how much higher it go actually. So basically, ooh, that's not bad, is it? It goes quite a few there. I didn't realise. Okay, it's too noisy. Right, okay, that's down to a bare whistle now. So basically the meter's generating the tones. The tones are coming into this via the left-right ground. Well, I've only connected it up to 1 at the moment. And basically it's transmitting now to this, just like that. Now, that was a bit slow, that connect, this morning, just like that, wasn't it? It seemed to, I think it got confused by my phone charger. I'm going to switch it all off, switch it back on again, and we'll see how quickly it connects, because that's what I want to happen in real life. I'm going to turn this horrible beeping noise off as well. It's driving me mad. Right, it's all switched off. I'm just about to connect. I'll turn the speaker on first, actually, so that it's sort of ready to connect to. Right, you get a little whooshing sound out of that, and a binging sound. Right, now I'm going to connect the power into that module. There it goes, and let's see what it says. So it's trying to connect because there's the steady blue flashing, quick flashing light, as they say. So I'm hoping it will connect to that Mini within a few seconds. Live video. Never worked with live video in children or animals. Now last time it took about... Yeah, it's done it. Hey, it took about 10 seconds, I'll say, last time. I don't know how long that was. It felt like 5 minutes. Obviously, it wasn't. A few seconds, perhaps. So that's good. It's connected. And if I turn the meter back on, we should hear a very faint sound. Oh, blimey. Okay, that was far too loud. And it was back down to 50 hertz, of course, because when you switch it on, that's where it starts from on that meter. Great. I think we've proven it. Let's declutter this desktop now, because there's a lot going on here, and just have a 5-minute conclusion about what I've discovered. Okay, I think with that previous bit of the video, what we have determined is that this little Bluetooth board, which costs about $4 to $5, does transmit, and it will connect as it says. Right, in fact, it's still connected this very minute, and that's great because I'm going to connect this breakout board now into my ESP32 Web Radio, so the line output, which goes via some isolating transformers, goes straight into here, and that'll then transmit to this little tiny Bluetooth speaker for my indoor version of the radio. I've got 2, one here in the workshop that I listen to, well, basically 24/7. Whenever I'm in here, it's on. But I've got the original, I suppose you call it the prototype, indoors, that I use in the mornings, and I want to have a shower and all that. Yeah, clean my teeth. So I switch it on in the bedroom, and I used to take my rather largish radio, about this big, that has a Bluetooth capability on it, but it's all a bit clumpy and big. So I bought this yesterday. It was only about, I can't remember now, 16 quid, 12 quid, I don't know, whatever it was, from Amazon. I'll put the link down there if you like. Anker. And I thought I just want something a little bit smaller that I can actually leave in the bathroom drawer rather than keep dragging it backwards and forwards. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now you might say, well, why on earth are you going to all this trouble when there are some perfectly good Bluetooth transmitters and receivers out there in the first place? And that is absolutely true. Now this one here that you can see here with the wire sort of desoldered, this is what I used first. This is a Bluetooth transmitter. This bit plugged into the output on my ESP32 Web Radio, and got powered by USB in here, and yes, it worked, but not like that, because when this is switched on, for a start, there's a rechargeable battery in here, which I don't want. When you switch this on initially, you have to press that battery, that button there, to get it into sort of, well, turn it on ready to transmit mode. So if this is inside the case of my ESP32 Web Radio, it's a real pain. I'm going to open the case up and press that. And if I have this external, it all looks a bit messy. So I thought, I don't need the sophistication of this. All right, this is meant to go behind a telly or something like that. Yes, you plug this into your telly, or this into the headphone socket of your telly, this into the USB socket on your telly, which most have, or if not, then a wall wart behind it. You turn it on, and you can listen to telly on your headphones or something like that, or Bluetooth speakers if you want to, which is what I was doing, headphone use. And when it's finished, when you turn off the headphones, I think this automatically goes to sleep. Can't swear to that anymore. But I had to press this button every single time. So for the telly use, it was probably great, but not for my ESP32 Web Radio use. I want something that just switches on, connects to the last thing it was connected to. Basically, it's going to be the speaker, and then switches off again when I turn the power off to the web radio. This is also another option. This is a receiver, also powered by some kind of, I think it's 5 volts or something. So this is a receiver. You press that and it pairs up with another transmitter or something like this, or the other one that I just showed you. But they're all self-contained units, aren't they? They're not designed to be built into something else like this one now is. Now this, as I say, is fiddly to wire up because of those little tiny 1.2mm connections. So when I created this breakout board, as you just saw there, here's 2 further boards, and I've got quite a few of these boards left actually now. If I keep another couple, maybe that's more than enough for me. So if anybody wants one of these boards in order to get one of these transmitters, as I say, the transmitters, I bought these from, I'm pretty sure it was AliExpress. They were about $4.30, $4.50, something like that. So about £3, 24, whatever. It was pretty cheap, yeah. And now, because I found those websites that somebody had already done the hard work about what the AT commands were, it made it all the more sensible. So you could, in fact, control this via an Arduino or ESP32, whatever it is you wanted to do. So let's just have a final 10-second look at what some of the AT commands are that you can pump down the wire to this and get some kind of response. Right, here we are with a blank IDE debugging window, serial monitor window, right, connected to COM18, which is what the FTDI on here is connected to on that device. And incidentally, you can see by that double flash, that means it's connected still to that Bluetooth speaker. Right, if I type in now at the top, incidentally, the settings for this is no line ending, 9600 baud, right? No line ending. Apparently that's quite important. So if you type in AT plus, which is basically a hello type greeting, and send that, it says OK plus. That's it. So that means we're in communication. Right, I'm going to crib now or something. I'm going to say, what are you? What kind of device are you? And the command for that is AT plus GMR. Now these commands have been determined by people who have either read the Chinese version, have got the little bits out that they can, but apart from that I don't really know anything about it. So AT plus GMR, we know this is, reading it from my board here, it's a KCX-BT emitter. All right, I guess emitter being transmitter. So if we send that, there we are, KCX-BT emitter version 1.1, even though on the actual device it actually says 1.4, but I'm guessing that's the hardware, not the firmware embedded in this. Okay, great. What else can we say? We can reset the device by saying AT plus REST, so that will now reboot this. In fact, if I move this, I'm fighting cables here, which is why it's a bit cack-handed. If I send that, that should now reset this so it goes back into pairing mode, and it should find the speaker again. Let's have a look. Reset, there we are, power on, flash, 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 flash. That means I'm looking for something to pair with. Now this might take a little bit longer because obviously the, oh no, it's found something. The speaker thinks it's still connected, of course, isn't it? So it's found something. There we are, connected. I don't know if you heard that little bleep from the speaker there, but that says I'm connected. Good, that all worked then. Now, the rest of these commands, let me just show you the web page that I'm cribbing all this from. Right, this is the first web page that I found that even dealt with this little Bluetooth module, right? So KCX-BT emitter, Electro-Tech-Online, and I was about halfway down that, reading out some of the AT commands. Let's whiz down there. Here we are. So as you can see here, here are some of the commands that he's worked out. Now there's quite a bit of information on here. I'm not going to go through any of these, but basically you can extract the MAC address, or say connect to this MAC address or this device or whatever. So you can do it sort of programmatically, as well as letting the device do it by itself. But what will happen is, the very first time you switch on a Virgin BT emitter, it will try and connect to something that it can find. And as you saw, unfortunately for me, it connected to my smartphone charger rather than the speaker initially, because that's the first thing it found, because I hadn't connected it to my phone. But once we'd sorted all that out, it connected straight away to the speaker, and from then on it will always connect to that speaker if it can find it. If it can't find it, it goes back into pairing mode and tries to find something else to connect to. Great, so that's fine. From my point of view, I can switch the speaker on. So the speaker says, I'm here, where are you, the thing that last connected to me. Turn on my radio and it will connect, well, within a few seconds, as you saw. Yeah. So there's all this information here. There's a few other sites that also deal with this. Right, this is on GitHub now. This is from Mark, MD047. Yeah. And he talks in a little bit more detail about the hardware and some of the stuff that you can do with it. I'll leave all these links into the description below. And there's this one here. This is the translation, and let me get it a bit bigger. There we are. This is the Chinese file that somebody's now taken and put quite a bit of English information in it, right? So you can have a look at that. So you can add name, or delete stuff, and delete the stuff it's already found at one stage. That's pretty good as well. Let me find out. I'm pretty sure I bought this on AliExpress, so let me find that next. Tra-la, here it is. Right, so it's only $3.29, which is pretty cheap, isn't it? I've only bought two, but shipping's $1.42, and that's the United Kingdom. If you're in a different part of the world, it might be different. But the price itself is $3.29, which is what, $2.50? Yeah, I mean, that's why I bought two. I thought, well, I'll have two, one to play about with in case I blow it up, and another one, as it happens, I didn't blow it up. So I've got a spare one I'm going to use for something else, yeah, because it sounds, now I've got the breakout boards, it makes life a lot easier, doesn't it? So $3.29, and as I say, these modules, apparently, if you read those websites, these are the modules, or at least the chips in there, that chip thing, if not this entire module, is found inside a lot of Bluetooth speakers and things. So I'm guessing it's used a lot. Pity there's not more English information, but I think with those websites now, there's probably enough for us to use, especially in a simplistic type mode. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, I'm not going to write a sketch for this. I'm not writing an Arduino sketch just to sort of connect up and do all that, because I've absolutely no need. If you're interested in this and you think, yeah, I'd love one of these boards, but I can't use it without a breakout board, we'll get in touch. There'll be a pinned comment at the top of the video description, so get down there and have a look at the first comment. It'll be pinned, he said, hoping it will be pinned, and it will say, sorry, there are no boards left, or yes, there are, tell me where you are, and we'll get something sent out. All right, it might, if you're in the UK, you're okay, I don't mind, you know, the postage and all that, because it's fairly cheap. But if you're in another part of the world, the States or somewhere, it might cost you the price of a cup of coffee. All right, so we'll work something out, I'm sure, just to get you a breakout board, and then you're away, aren't you? A bit like me. Cool. Right, I think we're done. I know this was a pretty short video and a pretty niche video at that, yeah. But this little breakout board really does make that Bluetooth device a lot more manageable. It really does. Cool. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there. Don't forget, if you liked this video and you thought, hey, that was interesting, do give it a thumbs up, because it helps me. Put your comments down below. I do reply to, well, all comments really, unless they're exceptionally rude, in which case I might just delete them. Oh, and if you're spam, if you're, you know, trying to promote adult sites or worse, I just report you to YouTube and they just delete you. So there we are. Okay, cool. That's it. We're done. We're finished. See you in the next video. I hope you're finding these videos useful and interesting. There are plenty more videos to choose, and a couple are shown below. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, just click on my picture below and enjoy the rest of the videos. Thanks for watching.